Well, of course, I had the book, and I felt pretty good about having written the book and gotten it out there and winning an award with it and all the rest of it. And I hadn't imagined in my wildest dreams that it could be a movie. But I was working on another book, a photography book, in London for a couple of years almost for another book company in England. And one of the things I was enthusing about with the designer of the book was this film that I'd seen called The Kid Stays in the Picture, which was made by a director called Brett Morgan about the famous movie producer Robert Evans. But the picture was made almost entirely of still shots with this very gnarly voiceover. And I just thought it was great and unusual, and I like the black and white photographs and telling the story like that with these animated photographs. And I was talking to these guys in London and said, oh, boy, I think I could do that, because I had the whole biography written out there. I also had 2 books about my years with the police and all this photography, and I was thinking I could do the same sort of thing. And then just by chance, I happened to meet someone in Los Angeles who was friends with Brett Morgan, and sort of saying the same thing. Oh, I love that film, and I've got all the same. Boy, I'd sure like to do that. She said, oh, well, I know Brett Morgan. He's great. I can hook you up with him immediately. Oh, so literally, I emailed Brett Morgan, who responded very well and said, send me the book. He read the book, loved it, called me, and I said, I've got all the photography. I mean, not knowing whether he'd want to do a remake kind of thing of The Kid Stays in the Picture. But, not too long thereafter, I met with Brett in Los Angeles, and we hit it off. And we had a lot of enthusiasm for trying to move it forward, getting the finances in place and so on and so forth. Now, around the same time, I had also met Nicolas Cage's producer, the man who ran his film company, and we'd met. And as Brett and I started getting dialogue about how we would go about this, and I said, well, I know another young man that might be good, and I mentioned his name. It was a guy called Norman Golightly. What do you mean? He said, well, let me meet him, and I got the 2 of them together, and they apparently hit it off. And suddenly I had, from nowhere, this little team, and we were all working together to see if we could now move from the book phase into the movie phase. And astonishingly enough, through these 2 and the connections in Hollywood, we literally sold the film the first afternoon. And I was shocked, because I've lived in Los Angeles for quite a while. Most of the people I know are in the movie business, and it takes years to get films made. Most of them don't get made, and I seem to sell mine from the book stage in one go. I obviously was hitting gold, so it was quite thrilling to me to go into this phase. Of course, I was extremely excited. But, making movies is a long progress. Most of them are a very troubled saga, and this one wasn't without its problems along the way, which is really too much to go into now, but it took quite a few years to get through the entire process. But part of it was good, because at the same time that I had just pulled this off, the movie aspect, the police got back together and we went on tour. And so one of the things that we did was, obviously shoot me right around the world playing with the police again, with this very magical moment of, one of the great bands getting back together. So that served our movie very well.